Hi everybody! So I'm back from my solo road trip. What I decided to do for Thanksgiving this year was spend it alone on the road. And I went to the exotic locale of Pennsylvania, which is next door to my state, New Jersey. So it was a pretty local place, but it felt like a massive, huge journey for me. Now, some people get to go to Glastonbury and they come back with these hauls and it's like, here is my water from the well and everything. And I anticipated that this road trip was going to be sort of just a normal road trip. I wasn't expecting anything mysterious and magical, pilgrimy to happen, but it did. And I've got all these crazy things that I bought that are all going to be incorporated into my practice. So I thought I'd share them with you because it's just sort of, I don't know, it's like a joyous little happenstance. So one of the things that I did is I started out by taking a hike on Thanksgiving Day, and the day after I took hikes along paths that had been used by the native people who lived here, the Lenape, and I also visited a museum. And that sort of helped me to feel really in touch with the place and the people who live there, as well as the people who came in from Europe. This was also Amish country. So I felt a lot of different influences while I was there. I don't want to get too woo-woo about it, but it was a rich experience, we'll say that. And then all these things just kept coming across my path and I just kept picking them up. So the only really intentional thing was I knew that I would be stopping at a shop that carried the 5-cent tarot and 2-cent oracle and mid-century tarots, which they did not have in stock. But they did have the oracle, which I had really been looking forward to. So I now own the 2-penny oracle, which is lovely. Because I can pair this with my 5-cent tarot that I have. And while I was in that shop, which is called the Creeper Gallery, put that to the side, the Creeper Gallery in New Hope, Pennsylvania, which had some pretty interesting stuff. I've also found this goodie. So this, the woman who had crafted it said that this was she bought a chandelier and then she created these candlesticks from the chandelier, and I'm optimistic. I'm hoping that I can put this in a window or buy a lamp and I'll get rainbow prisms from that. So excited about that. Now in Amish country, you wouldn't really expect to pick up some stuff for your craft or your practice, but I did. So one thing that I found was this cool little stand. And I'm very happy because the little wooden thing that I had previously, this deal for my card of the day, doesn't accommodate some of the larger oracle cards. It also doesn't accommodate round things. And I do have a few round, odd-shaped deals. So this one does. Look, how fabulous is that? And so I'm very excited to have this for a mere $2. I doubt very seriously that the Amish craftsman who made that anticipated it being used as a card of the day stand. They also didn't anticipate these little bonnets being used for something interesting. So they're jam jar covers, right? But I've been using these yogurt jars to collect things from my garden and let them dry, but they don't have a lid. Which doesn't really make that much difference with the way I store this stuff, but I thought this would be kind of fun. Now that I have it, I'm finding it to be somewhat silly, but I might use them anyway. So I picked up a few because I thought, I am never going to make these. I am never going to buy them again. I'll just pick up a few. So I have them. I'll use them for my jars, and it'll be, I don't know, it'll add a little bit of whimsy. Again, those nice Amish ladies have no idea that I'm using their jam jar bonnets for spell jars. Then there was this cool thing. Now this is supposed to be a caddy for tea bags, right? So you would put your favorite tea bags in here and fold it up, and then you can carry your tea bags with you. So I got 2 of them, one to use for my tea bags and one to use for little objects that I can have for a travel altar that I go on, take with me when I take little trips. Interesting, right? Okay, now on to more goodies that I found. While I was at the Native American Museum, they had these little stone animals. They said they had been crafted in Mexico by indigenous people. That would be nice. I hope that that was true. So I got these to use for travel, but also maybe in my space at home. I'm not sure. So I picked 4 things that I are going to represent the elements for me. So this dolphin is going to represent water, and this owl will represent air, and this unicorn is going to represent fire, and this bear will represent earth. So I can place these when I'm traveling and staying in someplace that's not my own space. I can place them in the 4 directions and help myself to sort of ground and create a safe, sacred space for me. I can use that in my practice. Okay, more stuff. I know, keeps coming, right? I don't know what this lady was thinking exactly. This was also in Amish country, but she calls this candle Black Crow, and I mean, how could I not? It's got nutmeg and ginger, which are 2 spices that I really like, and it's really pretty. It's soy. I haven't used it yet. She does this thing where she puts the soy chunks on the top, but then they melt out to be smooth. So, unknown to her, this will be used not entirely for mundane practices. More? Yes, there's more. I found this palm stone in just like I don't know what to call it, just like a little junky touristy place. I believe this was in Lambertville. And it was an excellent price for a palm stone. It was like $10, so I was pretty happy with that. And I had been looking for another palm stone. I have this one, which gives me more of well, it gives me a different feeling. I was looking for a different feeling, more love, comfort feeling. And this one, I think, will give that to me. So very happy with that. Found this beauty for $5. What? $5 again at one of these just touristy places. I just wonder, you know, as they're stocking these, what their buyers are thinking exactly when they stock these things in. But I'm really happy with this new crystal. Then there was another place that I stopped at in Pennsylvania called 10,000 Villages, and it's only fair trade stuff that they collect, or they source it from different places around the world where smaller communities are hand making things. So I picked up these 2 bags to use for like oversized deck bag and just like a regular deck bag. Haven't decided what decks will go in here yet, but they're really pretty, I think. Yes, here's the 10,000 Villages place. Okay, and then my last one was just a complete, like, what? So I went into this place called Earth and Slate. This is in Media, Pennsylvania. It's mostly, well, cool objects from around the earth. But there were these art prints there, and I was like, wait a second, those are the major arcana. And I think these people, I should know who they are. And I was standing there talking to my friend and saying, wait, who is this? I should know who this is. And I couldn't think of who it was. And the guy who runs the shop came over to talk to me, and he said, oh, all the people in this deck are from Philadelphia. This is a Philadelphia tarot deck, and we have it. I said, excuse me, put that on my card immediately. So this is, I think, the most entertaining tourist souvenir I have ever had. Now, I didn't actually go to Philadelphia on this particular trip. I was just outside of Philadelphia when I found this, but I have to just walk this. But you got to see the major arcana. What a hoot. So here's the Fool, the magician. Now, you may know who all these people are. I don't. I'm going to make a separate video and do a walkthrough. I promised the guy in the shop that I would do a walkthrough for their shop. But here's Terry Gross. If you're not in the U.S., these people, you'll be like, I'm sorry, what? Betsy Ross, Ben Franklin. I think this is, pretty sure that's Questlove. Anyway, and there's a copy of this in the Philly Museum. There's the bus. That's Rocky. It's just, I have to look who he is. I mean, this artwork is in a park, so I'm assuming that he's the artist who did these mosaic things that are in one of the public parks. And I'm not sure who these guys are. I think, weren't they like a boy band, maybe? Okay, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of research here. I'm not sure about the Liberty Bell for the hangman. I'll have to figure out what the reasoning on that is. Really, was Edgar Allan Poe in Philly? I guess so. All right, so, and I'm not sure who this basketball player is, but I guess he has a good spirit to him. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll be looking up all these things and having fun with this deck. So yeah, look for a walkthrough about this deck and why they're using clothespins for the wands. I don't know. There's a story there. I'll find out. Huh. I don't really think of quarterbacks as having all the feels, but maybe he does. All right, we will find out more about that in the walkthrough. So that is it. That is my crazy haul from a road trip in Pennsylvania. Who knew? Some of it, I'm sure, not intentional from the people who stock these things in their stores. They're probably not thinking, oh, we'll just have some items for all the little witchies who might come through. I doubt they were thinking that, but they did, and that was just super fun. I also got a couple of things. Let's see if I can show you in my space. Okay, it's going to get a little wonky here unless I can edit it out. I'm not much of an editor. All right, so I also found this great a little shelving unit, which you can see I'm experimenting with how I'm going to use it. So I needed more deck storage. That happened. All right, so that's it for me. I hope you kind of got a kick out of this haul video, which was a little silly, but fun for me. Bye.